about yourself.
Okay, so I'll start with my introduction and my journey, and then you can put up your questions, which you were supposed to as part of the discussion, just to give the discussion a right direction. If you are comfortable with that, all
We
right.
are not having a formal introduction of Rishabh.
We are having, ma'am. We can also introduce firstly, and then we can begin with
Yes,
Sir's
please,
journey.
please do so. Otherwise, I'll
Yeah.
introduce him. I'm
No, we
very
can
keen
begin.
to
Yes.
listen to what this venture is all about, where you elevate something. What is that? Where you elevate?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. So let's have a formal introduction of Rishabh ji, and then we can start over.
Sure, ma'am. So Tanisha can go ahead with the introduction.
Yes. So, hello everyone. Mr. Rishabh Ilwari is a dynamic entrepreneur and technology professional with a strong passion for both business and community service. He is the co founder and CEO of Where You Elevate, which is a cutting edge career tech platform that uses AI driven gamification to prepare the workforce of the future. The platform provides users with top job opportunities, hackathons, open innovation programs, and mentoring tailored to their career paths. He is also a founder member of the Eternity Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to advancing technology in India. His responsibilities within Eternity include expanding the organization's reach and impact, focusing on areas like uplifting colleges, promoting innovation and research, supporting startups, and fostering community based learning. In addition to this, he co founded Cloud Dive Labs, led technology excellence over there, which was later acquired by Standra Tech Solutions. Under his leadership, Standra became an AWS consulting partner, growing the team to over 35 professionals and successfully delivering assignments to 25 plus customers across EMEA geographies. Beyond his professional achievements, he has a deep passion for rail fanning, which involves visiting railway sites and gathering information about railways. We are honored to have you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. So, good morning, everyone. E- As my introduction has been already given, Where You Elevate is my third startup, to be precise, wherein we are working in uplifting and for formulating the next gen innovative workforce. We all are witnessing the startup ecosystem growth everywhere now, not only in metro cities but in tier 2 tier 3 cities and states in different parts of the country, and new industries, new and new sectors are opening up. Every other day we are seeing India advancing into semiconductors, India advancing into EVs, India advancing into sustainability tech. There are various new areas which are getting in evolved altogether. Last year there was a toyathon happened in toys industry. India is advancing in sports industry. Every new sector is adopting technology to upgrade themselves. So when all these companies will come together to find the right workforce, is India ready to supply that? Are the colleges or the students ready to adopt technologies that fastly, or adopt problem solving that fastly? If I talk about the BTech CA students only, first to start with, there are many platforms on competitive programming, data structures, putting students into competitions and all those things. There are some platforms who are and some mentors who are educating around system design, importance of it, and the interviews part for the top MNCs. We all are witnessing that on LinkedIn. But there are very few platforms who are focusing on problem solving, industry problem solving, not just a simple algorithm and building it, but a specific industry use case as a whole, and how different technologies can be clubbed together to solve it. If I talk about marketing as a profession, these days we are witnessing uh, a change in a clear change in the way social media marketing, on-ground marketing activities are taking place. You remember how Zomato Blinkit played recently? दूध मांगो दूध देंगे, खीर मांगो खीर देंगे. Two companies under one group, and then starting a trend, and it became a trend. Every other brand started doing that. Then Instagram Reels. We all are witnessing how quick the content creation and how effective it should be. 1 minute you need to communicate your message on social media, and if you do that well, you grow well. So how much research or how much uh, presence of mind is required in the talent to achieve those activities? Third, sales altogether. We recently started. I'll just share a use case. We recently started with a fresher and intern hiring subscription for startups. Uh, you know, the maximum requirements we received were for sales interns. Every other startup where we are witnessing, I want to hire 10, I want to hire 15. We thought that tech hires will be more, but we are getting a whole new different perspective of the market, which is being opened to us. Sales and marketing. So for MBAs, for different, and sales and marketing doesn't require you a MBA. Being a student of a Delhi University college, or being a student of BTech in any other college, they are ready to take every talent who is smart and who wants to do that. So this is where the industry is heading towards. The kind of presence of mind which the industry is asking, the kind of innovative mindset the industry is asking, which clearly is a gap right now. And if I talk about tier 2, tier 3 cities, huge gap. So where you elevate is focusing on preparing this kind of workforce for the future, for next 10 years, 15 years, how the hiring will be done, how the community engagement activities will be done. So we are working on providing talent management strategies to the corporates on how to hire rightly, how to hire smartly, and how to hire fastly, and how to engage the talent, not just hire, but engaging with the talent through hackathons, through open innovation programs, not just monetizing the talent, not just monetizing solving industry problem, but helping institutes to monetize their labs and COEs even. So altogether, an ecosystem is being built with Verio Elevate, and it is a foundation which we are giving for next 20, 15 years of business with this platform. Now, why I started this platform, why I started working in education sector is primarily being from a tier 3 town, tier 3 engineering college, passed out. Uh, a clear gap was there, a clear problem statement was visible. It required mentoring, it required upliftment students. We started doing that with Eternity Foundation back in 2017. We were the first ones to introduce remote internships in different technologies. In 2017, when there was no work from home culture, we started with a 60-day internship program, which was based out of coaching model. We were not giving any content. We were asking simple problem solving abilities of students. We delivered these programs to more than 10,000 students. Later on, it became a trend. A lot many organizations started doing that. Uh, we also conducted hackathons as part of that journey. One of our hackathon was appreciated by Honorable Prime Minister also in Man Ki Baat back in November 2020. We recently completed a hackathon campaign with Government of West Bengal also on a very beautiful topic called data anonymizer, which closely relates with the Digital Data Protection Act, which got passed recently. So this is what we have been doing. Uh, Apart from this, I also worked on another organization called Cloud Dive Labs for 3 years, 3.5 years to be precise. Built a team of 35 people over there. Took to AWS consulting partner, served many customers, and that's where my startup journey, actually, that's where my building businesses, building as a professional myself grew, because my partners were 30 plus years of industry experience, working directly with them, being 2 year of industry experience, and working there under their mentorship at the same time in their partnership. uh, Grew me as a professional, grew me as a leader, and that's what uh, shaped my overall career. So that's what about me. And uh, today's topic of Entrepreneurship Youth Conclave. First of all, thank you to Aryabhat College ESL for inviting me and considering me as a speaker for this your Entrepreneurship Youth Conclave. I'll before I begin on the topic of AI, blockchain, and different technologies, how they are creating a difference these days, and how and different strategies and different areas where I'll be speaking, and I'll be taking your questions also. I'll just mention something about entrepreneurship, because a lot of you are students, and today's topic is that being a young entrepreneur. Yes,
Yes, sir.
entrepreneurship
Please, sir.
entrepreneurship is just a mindset. जस्ट अ माइंडसेट, ये बहुत सुना होगा ये स्टेटमेंट, बट ये रियलिटी है. इट इज इट टीचेस यू एवरी डे, it teaches you every day to go beyond your boundaries. You may have n number of personal problems, but if you have that mindset, you'll keep solving everything. You keep solving everything, and that's what is required for you to pursue a startup. If a startup founder doesn't know how to solve problem, doesn't know how to see a problem even, and has n number of certification skills, the startup won't thrive. And building an organization requires this mindset to go at a level wherein every single minute you are trying to solve your organization's problems, being a lead. That this is the prized responsibility which you get when you are an entrepreneur. You keep solving problems, making life easy, and slowly you'll see that your community of employees, your customers, everyone getting happy, and your organizations are growing, and your impact is growing. So in last 6 years, I've seen this happening. I've through my work, I've helped more than 50,000 students now to shape their career. There are direct testimonials which I have received for the work which we have done. And I'm not saying that this is big. This is just a start. This is just a foundation we have laid. And we are now scaling ourselves. And when we'll scale, the impact will go even beyond. And to scale even requires solving a lot many problems, which involves tech, which involves problem solving mindset, which involves focus, which involves commitment, and which involves collaboration at last. Collaborating with different founders, different team members, understanding their problem. So entrepreneurship starts with a problem solving mindset. So if you have that, you can jump on this journey. It's a roller coaster ride. Yes, you'll enjoy it. So yes. So any questions so far, or shall I continue, Yashoda?
So just one question from my end, and then others also can ask their questions. Like you mentioned the marketing one, I was really fascinated by that. So do you think differentiation is the future? Like many firms opt for differentiation to build their startup or build their ideas. So do you think differentiation is very important to entrepreneurship?
Yes, differentiation is important. At the same time, over differentiation should not be done. You may fall. There are some traditional strategies. See, every innovation, there are two kinds of innovation. Even if you apply for DPIIT recognition, Startup India recognition, the form asks you what kind of innovation. For categorizing you as a startup, the form asks you what kind of innovation you are doing. Is it a something innovative as a product you are building, or something in the existing process you are innovating? Okay, so differentiation in at times may happen in process innovation also. There's a traditional marketing process, and some tweaking or some innovative approach to do that process you have done may produce results. At times, altogether, a new innovation is required to do marketing. And we are seeing everything happening. Few years ago, there was no reels. Today, everyone is doing that. 2 years, 3 years down the line, you will be witnessing something else. Generative AI is already in place. Content creation is way too simple now. Even you buy a subscription, you can get creatives done with DALI and Chat GPT giving content and then different tools. So tools are making process faster, but the approach, the creative mindset needs to be developed. And yes, differentiation can be called as a future in terms of marketing.
Really well said, sir. Right. I completely agreed. So, sir, do you want to say anything on the topic, or we have some pre-made questions as well for you, so we can roll them as well? How exactly shall we go about it?
I think we can start with your questions. That will give us structure for everyone to answer. Otherwise, I'll
Sure,
keep
sir.
on speaking.
Sure, sir. So, Jia can and Himanya can take over.
Okay, so let's just start with the questions then. So the first question is, how is artificial intelligence currently being utilized to enhance digital industry, and what are the potential future applications?
Okay. Yes. So AI, how it started was, first we started with the digital data, the simple recommendation which we saw on Facebook a few years back, that we started getting the content as per our need. Slowly and slowly, before that, there were various robots being attempted. AI, when we used to see artificial intelligence, the first thing which comes in mind was robots way back when we used to study in schools. In digital world, with these recommendation engines, it started. But we are witnessing with every machine generating data, every machine getting smarter, industry 4.0 coming into picture, IoT getting developed. We are getting data everywhere. AI and data science is helping machines go smarter, is helping our vehicles go smarter, is helping us live a better life. So everywhere around, if we see a machine, there is an AI application somewhere or the other happening. Uh, to give a use case of it, I'll just share two hackathons which we have done in 2020 and before that. One was a traditional industry problem, not industry problem, a culture problem. We have seen our monuments, right? There are paintings, there are distorted paintings, art cravings on the walls of our monuments. Now, an AI application was developed using deep learning to restore that culture back. How the painting used to be when it was drawn, using deep learning and AI models. This was one of the problem statement of one of our hackathons, which was appreciated by Honorable Prime Minister also. A traditional problem, and it helped us restore the heritage way back. So it is everywhere. If you see a problem, AI can be integrated, intelligence can be brought in, and a problem can be solved. But over AI, actually, I was one of a panel discussion where one of a top institutional investor, the founder of it, mentioned one point. The opposite of AI is real stupidity. If you start applying AI everywhere, it is real stupidity. There are cases where in different geographies, looking at the problem, you apply, find the business viability, and then solve that problem. Some of the problems may be solved without AI even. I can give. He quoted a very good example. Traffic light, uh, traffic lights. If you've seen signals, and there was a problem statement wherein, based upon the traffic, we can control the timers, and a computer vision can be enabled with the cameras installed and a real-time feed taken. If the traffic is more, the timer for the green signal timer can be increased so that there is a regulated flow of traffic and there are no traffic jams. But this, just solving this problem using AI will be a very costly affair on real time, because there are minimal inputs required in a traffic light to be controlled, five, six, seven. Whereas autonomous cars, hundreds of inputs, intelligence over there, which input to be taken care based upon weather, based upon the road, based upon the traffic, based upon the obstacles which are coming. Uh, Autonomous cars actually have to manage outputs accordingly. So an AI application over there can be fruitful. Similarly, in EV ecosystem, yes, EV charging stations can be fast charged using AI and deep learning. EVs can be fast charged and there is an application over it. Then EV route navigators suggestions using AI and blockchain are being developed quite a lot. We have seen smart panels of Ola Electric and Ether. A lot is being implemented over there. So some traditional problems in automobile, in different industries, in manufacturing spaces, everywhere AI and data science are solving different problems.
Thank you, sir. That was a great input. And also, the hackathon idea was such an innovative idea.
Thank you.
I think Gia will ask the next question.
Yeah, sir. So the next question is, can you elaborate on how blockchain disrupts traditional business models and what opportunities it creates for the entrepreneurs?
Okay. On blockchain, before I tell, are all of you familiar with the blockchain technology as a word?
Sir, a little
Yes,
bit,
sir.
I guess.
Partially, but
Yeah.
When you hear blockchain, the first thing which comes in mind is cryptocurrency. But blockchain is even more beyond than that. Blockchain is nothing but a distributed ledger. Ledger, if you understand, in traditional business, if you are from business family, khata. Okay. By khata, we used to write everything to record, and no one can modify. If we have to write it, I am maintaining that if someone writes it, I can recognize that this is not my writing. Okay. So it's a distributed ledger in itself, wherein records cannot be modified. If they have to be modified, we have to modify everything, and it's a linked ledger. If you are from computer science background, you will understand. uh, the next record will have the timestamp of the previous record. So linked ledger is being maintained. Blockchain, yes, different, wherein we have to maintain the history, and in records wherein we have to maintain the records and history. Blockchain is very helpful. One successful example: court proceedings. Can I alter judgments and the proceedings which are locked these days? If you are aware, courts are uh, going digital. There are various problems which are being solved using technology in our courts. Court proceedings, court judgments, every judgment is recorded, every judgment is being studied as a reference to give future judgments of a similar case coming in to picture. Court proceedings, logging them, maintaining a log, and it is very sensitive. We don't want it to be altered, we don't want it to be modified by anyone, and we want to ensure the security. So logging that entire thing, a good application of it. Properties, these are the applications which the government is doing of blockchain. Property, if we buy property, we get it registered, registry office. Okay. Now when I sell it, the previous buyer details are also to be maintained. Okay. Every time we sell, the property chain is getting created. Blockchain resolves this problem because it is maintaining the ledger in itself, and the data cannot be modified. So these are some of the areas where it is being used. Then wallets, then uh, yes, fintechs are adopting it because yes, money transactions and maintaining the record in itself, blockchain is very very helpful. So a ledger which is secure, which maintains the records, yes, it solves a lot many problems.
Thanks a lot, sir. Your insights were great, and I hope that the audience got to know about what blockchain is and its benefits.
I think we have another speaker uh, also.
Yeah, Jason sir has joined in. A very good morning, good afternoon, sir. Hope you're doing well.
Good
Are we
afternoon, sir.
audible?
Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Are we audible, sir? So if you're speaking something, I guess you're on mute. Are we audible? Okay, let's just introduce sir in the meanwhile, and he'll
Yeah,
just.
apologies. Can you hear me?
Yeah, completely
Yes.
audible, sir. How are you
Yes.
doing, sir?
Fantastic. I've had some trouble getting. Could you press, please?
Sorry, sir. I beg your pardon.
Please.
So can you repeat? Okay. Asad will introduce Jason sir to everyone. We're also live streaming just for the info. So we'll also continue to ask the questions from the live stream as well, and we can begin that. So Asad, you can take over.
So coming on from Jason Fernandez sir. So Jason Fernandez sir is an entrepreneur, blockchain speaker, and a crypto analyst. As a teenager, Mr. Fernandez founded the internet portal ZeroCities.com, a non-profit ldkits.org, and wrote for CHIP magazine. Later, while studying at the University of Texas Austin, Mr. Fernandez co-invented the world's first legal internet-based DVR, Record TV, and was part of the founding team at Perceptive, a company that developed ECRM software for Fortune 500 clients. He now leads TokenJ.tv, a blockchain cryptocurrency focused media outlet. He is also a TEDx speaker and ICO bench expert. He also speaks regularly on the subject of blockchain, cryptocurrency, and has served as advisor to various international blockchain firms, political parties, and even state governments. In 2019, he was conferred with the Karmavir Chakra, a United Nations Global Civilian Award for his work promoting social and financial inclusion through blockchain technology on behalf of AE Token and FUNE. He has received first place awards at the Malta Blockchain Summit and the Seaside Startup Summit, respectively. He is also the recipient of Startup Singapore Award, the first national technopreneurship competition award that is held in Singapore, ChildNet International Award at the UK, and Best Business Plan Award from Sybase at the Global Entrepreneurs Challenge at Stanford University, California. Mr. Fernandez has also been featured in international media outlets like the BBC, LA Times, Associated Press, MTV, Channel News Asia, BlogsLive.tv, and national outlets in India like India Today, ZTV, and many more.
I guess Jason sir is having some technical glitches. Meanwhile, I guess we can resume with the questions, and as and when he joins back, we'll just include both of you in the discussion, and we can have a fruitful session henceforth.
No problem.
Yeah, Jay, you can continue.
Okay, sir. So, as we are also going live on YouTube, there is one question from a person. He's asking, can you just elaborate what all your company does, the major work?
Okay. So in Where You Elevate, we are for the students and the job seekers or the professionals. There are opportunities which we are giving. First is the job opportunities. Second is hackathons. Hackathons include hiring hackathons, innovation hackathons, solving problems, industry problems, and getting recognition. Third is open innovation opportunities. A lot many companies actually want to build their developer communities, run open source programs, or run initiatives in in the academia itself. We are driving all those things also. So solving industry problems through that route also is possible. In That is called community engagement. So we are building that also for companies. So these three categories are there for which Where You Elevate is bringing to the user base, and for the industries, we are engaging with them in two ways. One is the hiring part of it. Second is the problem solving part and community engagement part of it. So two major areas where we are supporting industries also at Where You Elevate.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, Jason,
Uh,
sir. That's completely fine. So, shall we resume with the discussion then? Or Rishal, sir, do you want to elaborate on anything else, or we can just start with the discussion and both of you can join both?
Yes, we can start with the discussion.
All right. Jason, sir, would you like to speak about something? We had given you given the introduction about yourself. Would you like to speak about something?
Sure, I could. I would just say, it's a pleasure being here. Big fan of the technology, of course, but blockchain. It's kind of been something that I've dedicated my life to over the past, probably about 10 years. Actually, I bought my first Bitcoin in 2012, and really that's sort of when my entry into the technology and started a few companies in the space, made a lot of investments in the space. I think over the last year, invested in a couple hundred companies via our company NFT Technologies, where sort of I manage our portfolio. But yeah, I see some really amazing stuff coming, especially now, especially because it's a bear market. People are not very much focused on just making a whole bunch of money, and so you see a lot of like genuine innovation in the space. So yeah, love to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
We are more than honored to have you, sir. So let's resume with the discussion then. Jia and Himani, you can just roll your questions, and meanwhile, we can also ask questions on the live stream.
Yeah, sure. I think let's move forward to the next question then.
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
the next question is funding is a critical aspect of startup success. What are the key considerations for entrepreneurs when seeking funding for their tech startups?
Well, I could certainly take that if nobody else does.
First, you take Jason, and then I'll.
Sure. Well, I mean, okay, absolutely, Rishabh. Yeah, so of course, made a lot of investments. I think one of the main things you sort of have to think about, especially when you're in blockchain, is whether you want to whether you want to have a native token or whether you want to raise funds via equity. So it's really your two options are equity versus token-based, crowdfunding. A lot of people go via equity. That's really patient money. That's money that will take, those investors don't expect to get a return for another 5, 10 years. There's another set of investors that would sort of rather invest via tokens on a token basis, and those guys generally tend to need a lot more liquidity and will usually expect to be fully vested in a couple of years. And so there are obviously pluses and minuses to both. One is, of course, when you do a token raise, there's no you don't give any board seats, for example. You're in full control. You're essentially pre-selling the utility of the product that you're making, and so you still have all the equity, you still have all the ownership of the company. But the actual thing that gives its value is what you're really tokenizing and allowing people to pre-buy. With equity, you're really everything that's good for the company is good for the token. Whereas in an equity investment, whereas in a token investment, you can have a company that is doing really well, but it doesn't translate to their token doing really well, for example. So that you can have some daylight between them. So I guess it really depends, kind of like whether how quickly you feel like you can give the those funds back, how attractive your tokenomics is. That is sort of the token utility that your tokens are actually based off of, and then of course whether your investors are patient or need a much quicker feedback loop.
All right, I'll also add to the question. Yes, Jason has given a perspective of how to raise funds, particularly if you are working on a blockchain-based tool or a blockchain-based product, and what is the sensitivity of the two models which he has given. Yes, I'll just add from a perspective of organization building also. Fundraise, yes, it's an important milestone, but it is not the only milestone for a business to try. Yes, for it requires you to bring various disciplines within the organization itself. Every different department should be ready to scale, and you have a clear mindset. You have a clear focus. What you are going to use and build out of the money which you are getting. And then there are different models through which you can raise funds. Yes, if you're not a blockchain based product, equity based fundraiser is there. Then within that there are different models. You can go for a safe or CCPS or different others, or through angels. You can raise it as early. Then in the seed round you can or in the series A, pre-series A, you can go to some institutional investors once you're ready. These are kind of equity saving mechanisms plus uh, building a product, then building your initial traction, initial scale, and then going into a much more disciplined route of growth with institutional investors, because there is a lot of due diligence which happens these days, which was not there 5 years ago, but now it is there. Fundraise actually is a critical aspect. So that's what.
Thank you so much to the both of you for your inputs. I'm pretty sure that the audience, it was really insightful for the viewers watching. Jia will continue with the next question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, sir, our next question is, we got it from the audience that, like, how is blockchain technology used in banks, and is there any difference between AI and blockchain?
Jason, would you like to take it? You guys, I think you are on mute.
Yeah, thank you about that. Yeah, I think very clearly there's a massive difference between the two technologies. One is obviously, AI is obviously artificial intelligence, and blockchain is where it's like two completely different worlds, right? I mean, to some extent, there's certainly obviously applications where you could integrate AI within blockchain technology, but it's the two, completely different like disciplines. But I think I think AI has been getting a lot of attention lately, but from a really hardcore technology perspective, I think that blockchain could probably build the rails upon which you have built various different sort of AI applications and big data applications. So I would definitely say that. What was the first part of the question?
How
Yes, sir.
blockchain is actually can be applied in the banking domain.
Right. So those are two totally different things, right? Questions. So as far as blockchain and banking, I know XRX is XRP is a really good example, right? XRP Ripple has a product called X Rapid, which is essentially a token that they use to transfer into bank in order to like very 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 quickly complete settlement. XRP is one example, but of course there are CBDCs that various different countries are actually coming and integrating into their basic financial system. I know India is looking at integrating CBDCs for very very large scale country to country payments, because it's both very very quick but also very very low fees. So I think that I think banking is sort of going to be revolutionized by being able to move large amounts of money without the associated costs that come with moving fiat around. So I would definitely say that.
Yes. So answer the second part of the question also, which Jason has mentioned also already. AI, anywhere where there is a flow of data available, because intelligence can be put in on some parameter, some information or data. So AI is an application wherein some input of data is provided, and that data source can be a blockchain ledger, and that data source can be some other sources of information. So AI with blockchain can solve some different industry problems, but these two are different technologies. Blockchain is a way how data is stored and how data is streamed further, basically transacted. So that's what it is.
Thank you, sir. I feel that it cleared the doubt between what is blockchain and what is AI. And I think now Himanya can take over.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much. The next question that we have is, how do you see the integration of AI and blockchain technologies shaping the future of industries, and what advantages does this convergence offer to startups?
uh, I'll go first on this. AI and blockchain technologies, yes, both the technologies once integrated can form some uh, real life intelligence, wherein there are transactions happening, there are transactional data. Using that data, it can AI can be used to recommend different other options for a buyer. I'll just pick a use case for prop tech. I am doing a property sale. Okay, then bought today, then I sold it before getting it registered to someone else. Uh, that's what property trading is, or anywhere the trading is. Basis how I am acting upon it, how I am maintaining my ledger. I can be recommended some subscriptions or some options in my prop tech platform. So that is one simple use case which I can share from my knowledge around how two technologies can play. Jason, if you want to. I think you're on mute.
Yeah. I think you basically covered it all. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, very briefly, that you could certainly integrate the technology and use one as sort of an input over the other. But obviously they're very 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 different technologies and built to do very very different things for sure.
Yes.
Please go ahead, Asad.
I have a question for both of you, Mr. Jason Fernandez and Mr. Rishabh Ilwadi. It is more related to tech startups and entrepreneurship. Recently, we have seen a trend in the past 6 or 7 years that big tech companies keep getting bigger and bigger every financial year, right? Like, for example, Facebook, Apple, and Amazon, right? These behemoth tech companies leave very little room for small tech startups like WhatsApp and Flipkart. They are being taken over by these big tech companies, as we have seen from the past. Even if they manage to get a little success in the start, right? So, do you personally believe that this is a good trend in our market and industry, and how this should be looked into and solved into? I would like to hear both of your opinion. Thank you.
So I could definitely get started. I mean, I think that consolidation is inevitable. Whenever you have very 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 large companies, they will have an interest in sort of having a very very large amount of control over various different aspects of how you interact with let's say an app, for example. So a communications app might also want to integrate payments, for example. So like this sort of consolidation is sort of inevitable. Yes, it does to some extent hurt innovation, but on the flip side, these companies also have quite significantly more money to throw into investigations and things like that. One of the things I'm really interested in is sort of the XMTP protocol, which is a sort of a very very democratic messaging transfer protocol where you have sort of wallets to wallet chat, So this is very similar to you might have Messenger or Facebook or WhatsApp. Essentially, the idea is that you have a private wallet, and the wallet itself is having a conversation with another private wallet, and so that's known as wallet-to-wallet chat. And sort of protocol that makes it happen is XMTP. It's sort of a new protocol, wallet-to-wallet chat. And I think what's going to end up happening recently, the Europe has sort of passed laws that WhatsApp and all these and a lot of these major messaging services have to be integrated with each other. So, for example, if you have WhatsApp, you should be able to use WhatsApp to communicate with people on Facebook. This is actually already being implemented. I think the latest version of WhatsApp in Europe, you can have there's an other chat section. You can have sort of other chats with different apps through that. So I think that that the EU has essentially done a really good job in terms of encouraging innovation and sort of building this level playing field for, let's say, from somebody else who wants to build a messenger app. You can use basically any protocol integrated, and then eventually, if there's enough people on there, that protocol will be absorbed and used by other messaging apps as well. So I think there are, while there is consolidation on a mass level, I think a lot of companies and countries rather are looking at maintaining competitive practices.
I think Jason has given a very good example of how consolidation, from the business point of view and from the innovation point of view, how things are different. This trend, Asad, will remain forever, because the person who has money, who can put in more money to acquire things and to scale and to increase the impact and increase their business, to be honest, uh, will always be there. Okay, but there is always a room for new products, new innovations coming in, because there are policies which are coming in, there are regulations. Every country is putting in different regulations. Jason is giving an example of Europe. India brought in Digital Data Protection Act recently. Now, 1 year or 2 year down the line, you'll find a lot many solutions around data privacy coming in. How AI can be used, how blockchain and how different technologies, how to secure them, how to maintain one's personal or private data effectively. There will be innovations coming in. There will be new startups coming in, and the existing startups may acquire some innovative ideas coming in. So that's this journey will continue, and some of them get big uh, after some time also, and there is no stoppage that these four firms will remain big. They are more slowly and slowly getting added. So that's what it is.
Thank you for your insights, Mr. Jason Fernandez and Mr. Rishabh Vilwadi. Now, Himanya, you can take over and ask further questions. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much, Asad, for the question. I think Jia will take over. There's another question from the YouTube live stream that we're having.
Yeah, so sir, one of our viewers is asking that how can startups strike a balance between ensuring data protection compliance and maintaining the agility required for rapid growth and innovation?
Okay. So yes, digital data protection, yes, very important. You need to have a proper terms. You need to have a secure system in place and a good solid architecture and how you are maintaining your data. Okay. Initially, I would say it is not there in almost all startups. Okay, but once you are ready to scale, you have to comply very very well to different policies, digital policies, and to the government policies, because if it hurts badly in your scaling journey. Okay, to start with, yes, there may be a couple of gaps which you will build. If I tell you my platform, yes, it does has a lot of gaps, but once you're ready to scale, once you have achieved initial traction, that's where you need to put in your investment to actually fix all the loopholes of your systems. Jason.
I mean, certainly, I don't think I have anything to add to that question. I think you basically covered it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I feel it cleared the doubt of the view. I guess, Himani, you can take over now.
Sure, I'll ask the next question. Ethical considerations are crucial in AI development. How can entrepreneurs ensure responsible and ethical use of AI in their products or services?
Yes. See, it's the ecosystem also is getting stronger. I won't say that ethical considerations are there with everyone. Okay. But if there are strong policies getting implemented, at times you're bound to follow those ethical practices also when using AI or any other technology. But every other day we see some scam or some other thing happening using these technologies even. So it's a debatable subject, I would say. But as an entrepreneur, we can be responsible in building what we are building, and every individual has to do it, and the ecosystem has to be more and more strong, with more and more policies and stringent practices, so that these kind of loopholes don't happen.
Yeah, and to add to what Risha was saying, I think when it comes to AI, the ethical considerations are very much sort of have to happen sort of on a governmental level and possibly on an intergovernmental level. So essentially, the questions about whether AI can kill, for example, whether you can have a robot that can actually kill somebody, has the ability to kill somebody, or has the ability to take human life. These questions are actively being dealt with in countries that have built such technology. And so I think that it really can't come down to the individual company. I think when it comes to ethics in AI, I think that would definitely have to come probably either from the government itself or some sort of consortium of governments where they sort of come up with beneficial regulation that sort of keeps level playing field, but also ensures that you don't have some sort of massive AI that essentially ends up controlling the world or something like that. So I think that would, I think from a technological perspective, that a technologist would make that happen if they could, just by virtue of being able to do it. So then it comes down to sort of the regulation and sort of how that may or may not prevent such things from happening.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I hope the regulations are made soon.
And yes, they are just they are getting developed with Digital Data Protection Act in India, and there are various social media regulations which India brought in. Like every social media platform has to have a CIO based out of India if they have to operate in India. So the government is working. Indian government is working. Different other countries' government are working in G20. A lot was discussed around AI also. So though a lot is happening, but on coming that on ground will take time.
Yeah, considering that we do have AI, we really need regulations with it. Okay, I think Jia will take over the next questions.
Yeah, so from our YouTube live stream, we also have another question. So the question is that what is the difference between Ethereum blockchain and Bitcoin blockchain? And one more is that what is Merkle trees in blockchain?
I think Jason, you can take this question.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would leave Mocha trees for Rishabh because that gets to the stuff that's super not very fun for me to discuss. But I think Ethereum, we're looking at two totally different blockchains, two that essentially are built off of two different cryptocurrencies. You have Ethereum that's obviously built off of Ether. So essentially tokens that are built on Ethereum or ERC20. Well, of course, there's any number of ERCs specifications. Is ERC20 is obviously 1171 and a lot of NFT based sort of specifications. But essentially, what it does is it describes sort of how a token is constructed, what are the major rules of a token when you're talking about an ERC20 token. And then, of course, Ethereum is built by definition sort of to deal with these things like to deal with smart contracts. Ethereum is also built to be able to generate NFTs, for example. There's a lot of NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain. In contrast, Bitcoin was never really developed with the purpose of building NFTs, but subsequently we've had quite a bit of development on there, and we've really come up with this new thing called Bitcoin ordinals, which has really taken off. A lot of people are inscribing Bitcoin. A lot of people are inscribing sort of these NFTs on the Bitcoin blockchain. So to that extent, they're similar, but really, it comes down to really what the purpose of them, what they're built for, what their build purpose is. And I think Ethereum is built to sort of deal with and execute smart contracts, so essentially self-executing contracts, whereas Bitcoin was sort of built more as a store of value and the ability to sort of transfer funds between each other.
Thank you, sir. I feel like you explained the terms in a really good way, as many of us are unaware of those terms. Himani, you can take over to next question.
Sure. So, starting a tech startup often involves navigating uncertainties. What advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs on identifying viable market opportunities and building a resilient startup?
Yeah, I can certainly help a little bit there because I've heard a lot of pitches over the years. I think one of the main things that a lot of entrepreneurs do is that they solve a problem that's really not worth solving. I mean, either there's another solution that's as good, or there's not really a market appetite for people that feel like, let's say, the current solution is bad enough for them to like switch to a new one. And so you'll find a lot of essentially projects that are problems with essentially solutions without problems, right? Like they're solving a problem that really doesn't exist or doesn't exist to the extent that anybody is willing to pay to solve that problem. So that's the other part of it, right? Like, okay, great, you've come up with this great piece of technology. Are people even willing to pay to use it? And if they're not, then it's really kind of a waste of time. So like a lot of times, people will spend a lot of money in development, when I really think that it comes down more to, from a business perspective, trying to figure out if people are actually interested, if the market is actually interested. A lot of companies that raise funds, especially when they come to us in the early stage, raising funds, you'll see they'll raise like $100,000, for example, and they'll spend 50 or 60 in development. They basically go nowhere because they spend so much funds on development and essentially building their proof of concept, which they think is going to make it easier to raise funds, but really that hasn't been validated, right? I mean, they've not sold the product, they've not proved that there's enough use case for people to build that. So actually, having a full-fledged build product is not as impressive to me as having customers, even if the product isn't built yet. So that's sort of the main thing for me, is that I want to make sure that like there's enough of an appetite for the technology that the particular company is building, and they're solving a problem worth solving, as opposed to people that just they're so technically oriented that their single-minded goal is to create this technology and then really haven't figured out how to commercialize it.
Yes, I think Jason has covered most of the things in this. Yes, early stage startups. I'll share from my journey as an experience of different startups. There are products which are very much tech intensive. Yes, but you need to develop some kind of proof of concept with a smart utilization of funds, which Jason mentioned, and then focus on how it can be marketed well. But there are some businesses which are operational intensive, which requires you to build a good sales team, a good marketing team first, some initial customer acquisition, and then to scale that you raise funds. So fundraise, starting a startup, scaling, all these are subjects which require some good amount of practice when you actually jump into it. But it is more of identifying a problem, studying the market, iterating your product, iterating your understanding, iterating your business model out of it is very, very important. Every entrepreneur does a lot many pivots every time. It's not that the way you started, that business model will is full and final and you'll sustain with that. That's not going to happen. You have to iterate and pivot very fastly at times. So that's
Thank you so much, sir. Jaya will take over now.
Thank you, Nanya. So, sir, our next question would be that blockchain technology has gained significant attention in the past few years. So, what specific challenges does it address, and how does it contribute to fostering trust in various industries?
So yes, I'll just answer from my experience. Blockchain, yes, it has gained a lot of attention. Yes, the primary usage has been into the cryptocurrencies and banking and fintech space quite a lot. There are different government applications which are adopting it. One of the major aspect is the data cannot be altered unless and until we alter the entire ledger in itself, entire records in itself. So it's a sequencing, it's a chain in itself. So yes, it does guarantee a lot of trust of data which is being stored and helpful wherein we are storing some secure transactional data. So it will eventually gain attention and eventually it will solve a lot many problems wherein day-to-day transactions are there. Jason, your thoughts?
I mean, overall, I don't know if there's very much to add, but I think you basically covered it.
Okay, sir, thanks a lot for your insightful words. Himani, you can go to the next question.
Sure. The next question would be in the rapidly evolving tech landscape, how can startups stay agile and adaptable to technological changes and emerging trends?
I mean, it really depends on what it is that you're building in the first place, right? Like you don't want to just jump into a trend just because it happens to be hot. This is what we see a lot with AI today. Like every product that has really nothing to do with AI will glom on AI just so that it's get easier to get funded. It comes down to what is an organic use case for the technology, and if you have an organic use case, then what's the best the implementation of that?
Yes, I agree with what Jason has said. Uh, Not going with the trend, but focusing on what problem you are solving and whether a particular technology is actually required to solve that problem or not. I initially gave an example of the traffic light signal thing. Not every problem requires AI, not every problem requires blockchain. Some can be solved even with the existing data structure algorithms and just simple innovation in that algorithm itself. Yes, you have to be very focused on identifying what technology you are taking in place and what problem you are solving, and to keep it agile in the long run, keep engaging with the newest talent in different forms, using hackathons, using various other community initiatives at the institute level. Keep engaging with the talent which is coming. Keep investing in that, and I think that is where the future, how the future innovation is going to happen. So that's what it is.
Thank you so much. It was great hearing from the both of you. Jia, would you like to ask the next question?
Yeah, so, sir, we got one more question from our live stream on YouTube. So it is that recently OpenAI CEO stated that Indian companies cannot create AI models like ChatGPT as they don't have the adequate resources for that. So what are your saying on this?
Yeah, one of the things I would definitely say that's a disappointment about the Indian software industry is that we have always been extremely service oriented, right? So it almost seems like very, very, very little innovation actually comes out of India. You'll find a lot of management coming out of India. I mean, if you look at the things that we celebrate as a country, right? We talk about Satya Nadella, we talk about all these Indians that are running companies, but very few of those Indians actually founded the company, right? So it's really what India tends to value is not really innovation, but just management or basically running something else. It's a very service oriented way of looking at things. You could come up with basically some sort of innovation in accounting, and the person will be like, well, yeah, like hire us on a monthly basis to look at your accounts, as opposed to like, let's sell this product that is really amazing and will change the world, right? So a lot of the people that you hear about in terms of that have been very, very, very successful, running massive corporations, they're successful not because those happen to be, have Indian backgrounds. Unfortunately, they're successful because they left India. The sort of situation in India would be such that they probably would not have the same skills, the same sort of ability to grow within the ecosystem that India provides. And so it's not an accident that so many of these people outside of India and building, right? Very little. I mean, yes, there's innovation here, but in terms of the IT market is overwhelmingly dominated on a service industry, like on a service level. Like I get mails, by the way, all the time from companies that do development in metaverse and blockchain and stuff like that, and I always shoot email back going, hey, if you've got this and you can really develop this and you can develop this well, why aren't you just developing a product and actually selling it? Like, what's the point of actually serving other companies do it? It sort of shows a massive aversion to risk, and sort of not really willing to take the jump to do something innovative and to take the chance of getting funding. By the way, some of that could have very much to do with the funding ecosystem in India, which happens to be abysmal. Very, very, very difficult to raise funds on innovation. I remember several years ago, I was raising funds for a company called Smart Clock. It's a hardware startup. It was damn near impossible to make any progress doing so, right? Because nobody wanted to fund innovative things. They wanted to fund something that was a running business.
Yes, what Jason has said is a prime use case. Even I took one innovative product to a national business model competition, and I was grilled badly by the investors. They said if you are building this product in US or UK, you would have easily got funding. You are in India. Healthcare is one area where even if you build something magical, you won't get enough traction easily. Yes, the ecosystem has not been supportive of the innovation, but things are changing now. But it will take some time, 5-10 years down the line, wherein we see some smart products coming out of India. Even service oriented industries, if we see different startups, most of them are service oriented. They have built apps, they have built good technologies, but they are serving different industries, providing services only. No major innovative product has scaled much in India. So that is what it is.
Thank you, sir.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, Jason, sir, you can continue.
No, I was just going to say it's unfortunate that this is the case, but yeah, Rishabh is right. There are really no massively innovative products that I can say came from India and scaled here successfully.
And one more thing, if we see in terms of technologies, React.js, who actually developed it, Facebook. Then now Next.js and this Flutter as a technology, Google. Then they are not only developing, these are just frameworks over an existing technology which are developed. They are not only developing good products, but they are dominating through the technology frameworks by making life easier. A lot is developed over there. A lot many open source communities are driven by the Western world in terms of tech. So yes, so that is why he said. But things are changing slowly. The companies have started adopting things in India also similarly.
Thank you, sir, for such valuable words. I feel it cleared the doubt of the viewer.
Thank you so much to the both of you. That was all from our side. Those were the questions we had. If there are any more questions from the viewers, could you please comment down?
So, what do you think is the future of tech startups and blockchain technology or startups in India? Because recently we have seen many of the investors, as you mentioned in the discussion as well, that many investors are not encouraging or basically investing in such startups because they are bootstrap, and many of the investors are not risk taking. So do you think the future is bright, or do you think it will take some time to evolve?
The future is bright. I'll say the future is bright, and there are startups. There are a couple of our customers even who are working on some no-code platforms developed in India, homegrown, and they have raised initial funds also, and they're doing well. They're competing with different platforms across the globe also. But yes, not much support, but yes, things are changing. Some funds are evolving who are actually valuing these innovations and these products.
So I'm actually a lot more pessimistic than Rishabh. I think that if it does change, it'll take a very, 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 very long time. My experience, like literally, I've been looking at sort of fundraising for many decades. I started my first company when I was 13, sold when I was 15. I think it was 1999. I think when I was doing that. That was like 20 something years ago, 23 years ago. And so I've sort of seen how the funding situation has evolved. And despite hoping that things would get better, I've really not really seen that. Everybody that I've spoken with in terms of those that are looking to get funding have found Indian investors massively risk averse. I mean, this has been my my personal experience. When I was raising funds for Adlunim, we at one point were raising funds locally, basically people that we knew in the blockchain community in India. I had multiple calls with people. Most of them didn't want to put in money. Most of them wanted to put in funds after other people put in funds. It was just a complete mess until we decided at some point that it was really going nowhere in terms of raising funds here. And then took a completely international approach, and we ended up raising over $1 million in 24 hours and went on to raise the other $1 million in 4 or 5 days, none of whom were Indian investors.
So would you like to say anything, Rishabh sir, on that?
I somewhat agree also to Jason. It may take some time, but the outlook has changed. Some people have started developing products, but how well they scale, how big they scale, time will tell. But the outlook has changed a bit. It's still 2-3% of what is required, I'll say.
So what exactly is needed actually? See, if we are thinking for an entrepreneur perspective, like if we become, suppose any of us become a tech startup or a tech entrepreneur in future, what do you think is needed in the Indian ecosystem? What exactly is lacking?
Appreciation for tech.
Yeah, and innovation itself.
Both.
Right.
Even
so, any more questions, guys?
One more thing, Yashwardhan.
Yes.
Innovation. I agree with Jason. Why I said appreciation for tech. What we see even for software engineers who are getting trained, who are getting just into the industry or who are just students, what they are maximum practicing is solving some algorithms or just to get some good job in a big MNC. They are chasing it. Nobody is actually focusing on understanding the basics of how actually technology can solve a problem, or nobody is actually focusing on what all they can solve with the amount of skill set they are developing. So that is why I mentioned appreciation for tech also, and innovation.
Really, sir, really agreed. Hopefully the system will change and we can also encourage more and more tech startups, and the appreciation continues for that because it is truly needed. So any more questions, guys, Asad or anyone?
Yeah, so sir, there is one more question from our YouTube live stream. That can you list some key points that one should keep in mind to do a startup?
I mean, just to add, I mean, it's a really terrible way to begin a startup because you're trying to build, maybe make money or something like that, or like keep things in mind. Usually the idea is you've come up with a problem. Generally, it's something that maybe you've encountered yourself, and it's just such a burning problem that nobody's solving, and you think you're the best one to do it. So I think in terms of keeping things in mind, you don't want to go into this going, okay, I want to create a tech startup. What do I do? Which topic do I want to make it in? That's not how you build a startup. It's usually something that you've encountered. It's a problem, and you think that you can solve it, and you're passionate about it.
Yes, I agree to Jason on this. Just one key point required. If you have a problem in mind and you think you can do it, and it is viable, it may produce the benefits which you are targeting. Even it it can be it can generate enough revenue to sustain. So go ahead. This is what we should do.
Thank you a lot, sir. I feel it would help us to start a new startup if anybody wants. Guys, do we have any other question?
So do you think that basically the question arises not exactly tech startups, but in startup in general? So when we are making a startup, do you think a problem is needed or an existing problem can also be improved? What do you think is the new thing?
So just I would definitely say that when you're looking at an existing problem and you're building a better mousetrap, the parameters for success are significantly higher than if you're building a product for a problem that's never been solved, right? So if you're basically building a better mousetrap, then you have to make damn sure that not only is that a way better mousetrap, but also that people are willing to pay for the difference in the existing solution and yours. So I think that's sort of one of the prime considerations there.
Yes, agree.
Completely agree, right? Any more questions, guys, from the live stream? Let's just we'll just check if there is any more, or there are any more questions in the live stream, and then we'll just conclude the session. It was a very fruitful one. We'll just check. Please go ahead, Asad.
Basically, there was a question from a student that India cannot make tech AI, right? Because India is not a lot invested in research-based work, and tried and tested things are only tried in India, right? So we have seen companies like Tesla on the other hand, and companies like Apple on the other hand. So basically, Apple is strong in its marketing strategy, and Tesla is more research based in its work. So what do you think is the more better approach in the Indian market to be better at to become better in the field of entrepreneurship? Should marketing drive business growth or research and development drive business growth?
Well, I think if you have a bad product, you're not going to be able to be successful just because you have really good marketing. So I think at the core of everything, is coming up with something that's innovative, that solves a problem, that does things better than anybody else. Marketing is just something on the top. It's like a layer on top of that to let people know once you've made it. So I think I don't know if it's an either or. It would certainly, to me, seem like it would be something that you want to do in tandem.
Just to add to what Jason has said, see, I agree to if the product is not good, what will marketing do? We are and comparison of Apple and Tesla. Apple actually carries a big value which it has produced over the years. Now, whenever a new iPhone comes, even if it is not good, or iOS version, even if it has bugs, it gets the popularity. Whereas Tesla, on the other hand, is solving a problem for the future, autonomous cars. It launching it in India is itself a challenge. So not a good comparison. India is both a production and consumption based economy, I'll say, and one of the we have the largest population now, and So marketing does plays a trick, but good product or good solution will always be appreciated and will always scale. So I won't say R&D is not there in India. It is evolving. It is improving, and uh, yes, good products with good market, which are fit for India. First thing is fit for India is another aspect which we need to see to in order to compare.
Thank you for your answer, both of you. That was a well satisfactory answer. Gia, you can take over.
Yeah, so we also have one more question from our YouTube live stream, and the person is asking that can you explain the steps of a startup in accordance with how you started your startup?
I mean, I would definitely say it comes down identifying the problem, almost sort of looking at the market before you spend much time in development. So I like a lot of people sort of the very traditional way is like coming up with problems, solving the problem from a technological perspective, and then marketing that problem either to customers or just yeah. So then it comes down to basically marketing the solution to clients. So but I think it really comes down to what is a business solution, and what is a business use case for that, and then I think you go from there.
I think Jason is covered. That's from where we start.
Okay, sir. Thank you a lot, sir. Guys, do we have any other question or we can move forward then?
Okay, so Rajni ma'am was also one of our panelists in the panel discussion, but she was not able to join the session because of her medical emergency in the last moment. So she has also sent a message to us. So let's just play that, and we can then conclude the session. So Tanisha can introduce once.
Yeah.
Rajni ma'am.
Yeah. So we had another panelist, Dr. Rajni Agarwal, who could unfortunately not join us due to an illness, but she was kind enough to send us a video recording. So I would like to take the opportunity to introduce her and we can then play the recording. So, Dr. Rajni Agarwal is an exceptional individual, widely respected for her impactful role as both a women entrepreneur and social activist, holding the prestigious position of president at the Federation of Indian Women Entrepreneurs. She has become a beacon of empowerment for women across India. Her entrepreneurial journey serves as an inspiring example of breaking barriers and achieving success in a traditionally male dominated field. Beyond entrepreneurship, Dr. Agarwal's commitment to social activism is equally impressive. She tirelessly advocates for women's rights, striving to dismantle barriers to education and healthcare access. Her work transcends boundaries, creating positive change in communities far and wide. Through her visionary leadership, Dr. Agarwal has paved her way for countless women to enter the entrepreneurial landscape and succeed. Her dedication to societal betterment, gender equality, and uplifting marginalized community has earned her admiration and respect. Dr. Rajni Agarwal continues to be a driving force for positive changes in India and beyond, leaving an indelible mark on both entrepreneurship and social activism. So we can now play the recording.
Hi, good morning, young friends. It's a wonderful day.
Yeah,
it
the
audible?
video, the audio is audible. I hope it is audible to everyone.
And
Yeah,
I
you
wish
can
I
play.
could be with you. Unfortunately, today I am slightly under the weather, and that makes me feel little uneasy, so I could not come there. But I decided to talk to you through video, and the topic innovation in tech startups, AI, blockchain, and beyond is a very interesting topic. Because the technological advancement in recent years has given us a lot of opportunities. So let's explore these areas of innovation in slightly more details. Now, AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning startup using algorithms to analyze large databases and make predictions and decision based on that data. And this has application in various industries from healthcare to finance. Now, NLP, natural language processing, is being used to develop chatbots, virtual assistants, language translation services, etc. Computer vision. AI powered computer vision is being used to image video analysis, object recognition, and autonomous vehicles. AI in healthcare is a startup using AI for medical diagnosis, drug discoveries, and predictive analytics to improve patient care. These are very important issues where startups have taken up the AI. Now, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies have paved the way to decentralized financial system. The startups are creating new digital currencies and blockchain based financial services. And I'll just give you two examples. Say Stripe, a fintech startup that uses AI to provide payment processing solution, fraud detection, and other financial services on online businesses. Ripple, a blockchain based startup that focuses on cross border payments and remittance using its digital asset XRP. Now, smart contracts are coming up in blockchain platforms, such as legal and real estates, which are streamlined in various industries like legal and real estate. Now, supply chain management, let's say, it is providing transparency and traceability in supply chain. Decentralized applications. Startups are developing decentralized application on blockchain platforms to enable a wide range of services, including gaming, social networking, and content sharing. Beyond AI and blockchain is a quantum computing. Although still in its early stages, but startups are working on quantum computing, and which has the potential to revolutionize industries by solving complex problems and currently impossible for classical computers. Now, biotechnology, healthcare. For example, healthcare path AI utilizes AI machines learning to assist pathologists in diagnostics, diseases from medical images such as pathology slides. VeChain, a blockchain platform that is used to track the authenticity and quality of pharmaceutical products, reducing the risk of counterfeit drugs. Clean energy, then space exploration. Uh, Innovations are also collaborating tech startup in research institutions, established companies. It is also driven by factors such as increased access to data, advancement in computing power, and growing demand for solution to complex problems. Say, for example, retail. Zebra Medical Vision develops AI algorithm for analyzing medical imaging data. Walmart and IBM Food Trust, they are collaborating projects using blockchain to trace the sources of food products. Transportation. Then we have, in transportation, we have Waymo, or we have ShipChain, a blockchain-based logical platform that aims to improve transparency and traceability in the shipping and logistic industries, which is very, very important because digital marketing has become an important issue. Now, energy, Tesla, no longer a startup. Tesla innovation in electric vehicles and energy storage have revolutionized the automotive and renewable energy industries. This is most important areas for using AI and blockchains. Now, space exploration, you are already conversant. Elon Musk, SpaceX, is working on reusable rockets and commercial space travel with the goal of making space exploration more accessible. Planet Labs. Then we have in education. Let's talk Duolingo. I was surprised when I was told by my granddaughter that there is a AI like this, and then it can be, personalized language can be learned through it. So I was really feeling very good about it. Now, ED Chain, it is a blockchain-based platform, and that verifies securely stores the educational credentials, making it easier for employers to verify qualification. This is important for the HR companies or in the companies in HR department. Now, these examples highlight the diverse range of industries where startups and established companies are leveraging innovations in technology, including AI, blockchains, and beyond, to disrupt traditional business models and provide new solutions to complex changes. But, friends, let's not forget that, however, it is important to note that whenever there is new things develop, there are new problems coming up. That innovation in tech startups also bring challenges, including ethical concerns, regulatory issues, then the need of cybersecurity measures. As these technologies continue to evolve, their societal impact and ethical considerations will become even more significant. The more challenges bring more insecurities, and more insecurities bring many systems and many observations and many rules and regulations. So we have to be prepared with whatever future is going to bring to us, and my good wishes and all the best to each one of you. And I look forward to see you again sometime. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you, friends.
That was really kind of Rajni ma'am to join us via a medium that we could listen to her. It was really kind of her to join. Rishabh sir, Jason sir, do you wish to say any thing else about our topic or anything? We can conclude the session then.
I think that's it from my side. Thank you for inviting once again. Hope it was fruitful and nice talking to you, Jason. Nice listening to your insights also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So, Jason sir, would you like to say anything else?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
No, sir, we were just concluding the session. So would you like to say any last words from your end about the session or anything else you want? You're free to say something.
Sure, I would just say, it's been a joy chatting. Should anybody want to get in touch with me, they can ping me at jason@jasonfernandez.com. I'm also active on Instagram and Threads, not on Facebook, not on Twitter, excuse me. But yeah, and LinkedIn for that matter, where I post a lot of stuff. So yeah, feel free to follow me and connect. And if anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to get in touch. I'm happy to answer them.
Grateful, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Khushi, you can take over.
So, hello everyone. I, Khushi Doody, the Executive Director of ESL Aryabhat, am honored to announce the conclusion of this event. It fills us with great pride to reflect on the fact that we were able to get such eminent personalities on board with us here today. We extend our heartfelt appreciation to our esteemed panelists for generously sparing their valuable time from their busy schedules to share their insights with us today. Furthermore, we wish to express our deepest gratitude to our principal, Sir Dr. Manoj Sinha, who has been our pillar of support, consistently encouraging and guiding us every step of the way. Finally, we extend our thanks to our dedicated teachers and the enthusiastic audience, without whom this event would not have achieved its remarkable success.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. And every teacher present over here, many thanks for joining.
Thank you.